Swoops and swirls, sparkles and stars, a mysterious exotic garden. When I was a toddler, that's what I saw when I looked at this page from the Fireside Book of Folk Songs. Not knowing how to read musical notation, I formed my own images. For example, those Cocker Spaniels all over the pages. What did cute little puppies have to do with music? No clue. Years later, when I learned that they were an indication to use the sustaining pedal, I remember feeling betrayed. Children are compulsive meaning constructors. If they don't understand the meaning of something, you can bet that they will come up with a meaning of their own. For example, when our students look at this and see smiley faces, we are amused and quickly move on to teach them the correct musical term. But by doing so, we miss a valuable opportunity to reflect on the child's natural learning process. Children transform what they don't understand into something that they do, simply by stripping away what is unfamiliar and substituting something that is familiar. In this particular example, the familiar image won't help the child understand what is going on musically, but suppose we could use the child's natural process to actually teach something new. I've come up with a device that does exactly that. Meet the musical imagery transformer. Take a musical term, feed it into the machine, and by the time you extract it on the other end, it will have morphed into something relatable. It works like this. In the first room, the old term, whatever it is erased. In the second room, the function is analyzed. What is the term actually describing? In the third room, we add the fuel, that is, our imagination, to come up with a different way to characterize what is happening. In the fourth room, a new relatable word is created, one that we might actually use to introduce a new concept. Let's try it out with the term dynamics. In the first room, poof, the word dynamics is erased. In the second room, we analyze what is actually happening, playing louder or softer. Next room, we use our imagination. What is a different way to think of louder and softer? Those look kind of like, wait, let's see what my second graders came up with. I told a class that I was going to sing a song 2 different ways, and that afterwards I would ask them to describe the difference. The first time I sang it with no dynamics, not easy to do. The second time I sang it with natural dynamics. One child described the first way as boring and the second as interesting. Another said that the first was flat and the second had shapes. And then someone said, it was like your voice was going up and down a mountain. So I drew this picture. Our new term, hills and valleys. Almost any musical concept can be introduced using relatable imagery. And when the students themselves are given the opportunity, they come up with the most interesting ideas. What is the point of doing this? What value does it have? Why not teach them correct terminology from the very beginning? When we introduce a concept using a term that has no inherent meaning for the learner, the message transmitted is that learning doesn't really have anything to do with them. Terms are faraway things that you have to memorize and rememorize, a somewhat painful process. At some point, of course, we need those terms in order to communicate with a common language. But when we are introducing a new idea, it makes sense to allow the learner to participate in the process. Not only is the concept grasped sooner and more easily, but the learner has the sense that the thing being learned has something to do with them. And relevance is powerful. It leads to ownership, which leads to agency over what the student has learned. And hey, isn't this what we want for our students? Isn't this what we want?